down, breathe now, work now, take on, move on, be strong, be strong, be strong.
Peace, goddesses and guys. It's Anpu Moon, and you're watching The Dark Side of the Moon, where we talk about spiritual matters, mental health, life hacks, and anything else that might pop up in my mind. Today, we're going to be talking about depression and anxiety, which is some of my favorite topics to talk about, mainly because, I experienced a lot of that in my life, and I found a way out of it. I found a way to progress forward and to get rid of it. So I'm going to start off with a saying. Well, it's not really a saying. This is something that was said to me a long time ago from a friend. He told me that anxiety is not something that we should call ours. And I'm going to go in depth with that. And I agree with him. Anxiety, depression, and all of these other mental health disorders, they are not things that we should be claiming as something that we have to keep and hold for the rest of our lives. They make it seem like this is just some weird thing that only a couple people in the world have, and you're diagnosed with it. And since you're diagnosed with it, you're stuck with it forever, and you should have to take pills and everything else to keep it maintained and in order. No. Everybody in their life at one time experiences depression or anxiety. It is a normal human emotion. Just like any other mental health disorder, it is a normal human emotion. And it's an indicator from our soul and our spirit that something is wrong. Like, if you're having anxiety, you're having an anxiety attack, there's something in your physical or spiritual arena there that is saying, hey, hello, hi, hey, there's something that is not okay, or I'm not feeling all right, I'm not feeling okay. You know what I mean? Look, the spirit outside throwing lightning bolts. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I could talk on myself. I know myself better than anybody else. When I had depression, when I had spouts of like feeling really, really, really low and feeling like the world was just against me and it was just fucking terrible, I didn't realize that it was a wounded wound effect. And by wounded wound, I am referring to that book, The Wounded Wound, which is basically about how women, their womb is the most powerful thing on this planet, because they are the ones that create life, right? So if they're the ones that create life, everything that comes from it is going to be a representation of where they are spiritually and mentally and everywhere else, So if, let's say that they had some trauma from their parents took out a lot of their pain on her, and that made her have depression when she grew up. And she never dealt with the depression. She never understood what the mental health thing was going on there. She didn't know that it transpired from her parents bringing on pain that they never dealt with onto her. So with this being said, she never dealt with the pain. So therefore, wound-to-wound effect, you spewed out a baby, now the baby has mental health disorders just right off bat. It's a carry-on, it's a butterfly effect. It's real, it exists. And the kid ends up having depression, and they don't understand why the fuck they got depression. And it's not even their fault. They got it from their mother. The mother was wounded mentally, spiritually, and it just transpired. It's like a transfer of energy, it's a transfer of cells. Your genetics are transferred from your parents. That's not to say that you can't get rid of anything that you have or have gotten from your parents, It's just that's where it came from. And that's the case for a lot of people in today's time. especially if you're living in America, especially in America in the black community. In the black community, when we went through slavery, you went through all that bullshit, all that fucking bullshit. They were literally kicking women in their wombs, like in their wombs as they were pregnant, and they were having babies based off of that. And don't get me started on everything else that we had to experience, being killed and hanged from trees. That's a whole lot of fucking trauma. And all that shit, what do you think? It just disappeared and dissipated? Hell nah. It got pulled into our reality in today's time. And then it's the reason why we have so many African Americans with mental health. That's not to say that nobody else has mental health disorders or mental health disparities in this case, you know? But it's a continuance. It is what happened to, especially in our community, again, like I said, and it is the reason why we have so much mental health. And again, this is not to say that you have to keep these mental health disorders and claim them as yours for the rest of eternity. No, you can get rid of them. There are ways to do it. I've done it. I practiced tested myself. My mom was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, among another of other things. And when she had me and my two brothers, like, we all had some shit going on, you know? Like, my brother had IEP, and he didn't do well in school. He got rid of that. My other brother, his father had some, I forgot what it was. I forgot what it was specifically. But he had something going on too, mental health wise. I helped heal him with, I'm not gonna say allopathic, because allopathic medicine is pills and stuff like that. I guess you could say herbs and remedies. This herb and remedy is shrooms, but that's gonna be a later talk. You know, I'm gonna talk about it a little further today, but it's not gonna be the main topic. The main topic is really just depression and anxiety, where it comes from, you know, how it affects people. But yeah, to get back onto page, we, all three of my brothers, were born from my mother, who had, you know, a depression, bipolar, you know, these things that we started to claim as ours, but really aren't ours, but are just representations of the energy that transpired from our childhood, or the wounded womb effect from our mothers, and we had a transfer of energy. We had a transfer of energy. We didn't just pop up and was like, okay, this is just something I have to claim for the rest of my life. Like, no, my mother was hurt. My mother had trauma. That trauma transferred over when I was born. That trauma transferred over to my family, when my brothers, when they were born. But I took it upon myself, 2020, the energy was there. I met a shaman. I did a whole lot of work, you know. I did a whole lot of internal work in my mind and my spiritual space in my head, you know. And I really got to see what put me into this position today. Who am I? What is love? What is self-love? Why are we here in the first place? What led to the positioning of African Americans in America in today's time? You know, I got to understand, and I got to see all of that. I got to see all of the pain. I got to see all of what made us who we are today. And it really got me to see that I was not alone. And I didn't have to feel the certain ways that I was feeling, like the anxiety attacks that I was having just going throughout the day. It was like, okay, why am I experiencing this anxiety? What in each particular situation caused me to feel this feeling, this very normal feeling that everybody has? What was causing it? And some of it was stuff that I had did, you know, in my life, and I had experienced from like school, like being bullied, like I got that energy transpired over. And, you know, as I'm growing up, if people aren't pushing good things into me, like you're the best, you can do it, you're strong, and they're bullying because they have pain themselves, that then became my reality. I, as a youngin', didn't have a sense of self. So I began to go on in the world with that sense of whatever other people told me, yeah, that's me. So now that became how I show up in the world. And so if I have anxiety in a particular moment, like, okay, let's just build a situation here, a normal situation. Okay, got my first crush here, right? Whole lot of anxiety, not really sure why I'm feeling this way. It's the feeling of rejection. And that's the core emotion there. But it gets transpired as anxiety and nerve wracking, because I feel like I am not going to be good enough to go talk to this woman and she's going to reject me off rip. These are all just thoughts that I've put into my head based on the reality of a situation that from the past tense came and decided it was going to sit here in my reality and become, try to become my reality. I learned how to take those things and come back to a core of nothingness. Like, okay, I'm at a core of nothingness. Anything that I told myself is now what I will become. So instead of telling myself I ain't finna get this woman, or I ain't finna get no attention, or I'm gonna be rejected, I take that information and okay, who told me that? That's not something that I should be going my life about. Like, that's not how I should be living my life. Hell nah. Why would I want to live my life like that? Hell nah. And I decided to start in those situations that I felt anxiety, I would put myself at a higher place and be like, no, I'm not going to be rejected. And even if I am rejected, that's on her. That's her loss. Because I'm a powerful person. I'm a powerful entity. I am beautiful. I am creative. I am understanding. I'm loving. So that just means that ain't for me. And the universe is rejection is protection in me. Rejection is protection, y'all. Rejection is protection. Okay? So it's time for us to not claim anxiety as something that we deserve to keep and as something that we are diagnosed with. And it's time for us to look at the core problem, to go in your life and to erase and become anew, to go through the death cycle. If you haven't checked out my album, my recent album, Death is Change. That's what it stands for. That's what it represents. You have to not kill yourself physically. Please do not do that, okay? This is a spiritual, a mental, destroying an old part of yourself so that you can be reborn like the phoenix. And that is the way that you do it, by letting go. Letting go is the answer. Now, in extreme cases of anxiety and depression, where it's just like every day, there's just like, you just feel low. You have to really look at your surroundings and see what is pushing you to be that way. So there are so many people in this world, so many different situations. All of them can't be fixed by the same means. I am aware of that. But the way that we are fixing them, by whapping a Band-Aid on it and saying, okay, I'm gonna take this pill for the rest of my goddamn life, that's not helping nobody. You gotta get to the core of the problem. And that's the only way that you're gonna be able to heal that and let it go. First, recognize that everybody goes through shit. And you are not alone. And mental health, your mental health, it is important. It exists. It is there. It is also has ties to other things that, the people who are giving you the pills aren't so much aware of. And some of them are aware of, and they are trying their best to teach people that you are the universe and in a human form. And what does that mean? 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. You a fucking walking magnet. You a walking magnet? That means you a machine. Low key, you are technology. So when you have depression and anxiety, all these other aspects of yourself that are like fickle and destroyed, you have to go in your machinery and change things around. You know what I'm saying? That's what this represents. The 12 zodiac signs, that's all energy. That's all energy. It's all present. So you really have to figure out what put me in this position in the first place. Now, I am a strong advocate for psychedelics, but I know that psychedelics can really depending on the situation, like this, you can't just play around with this because you're messing with your mental. You know what I'm saying? You really have to get help with this when you're messing with psychedelics. Psychedelics is a remedy for mental health. It's a remedy for everything that it goes on in the spiritual realm that you are a part of 100%. Shamans are doctors. Shamans, you have to make sure that they are helping people and not just putting people in a lower place than they were found. Do your research is important because you're playing with fire, the fire of your soul, but you have the opportunity to heal under the right eyes, under the right person to sit there and help you walk through this. And there are ways out. There are ways out. But first you gotta go in. That's the only way out. You gotta go in the jungle of your mind, and see where you came from. See where your energy is at. Another thing, the reason I be talking about food all the time is because food, in today's time, food is probably some of the larger majorities of the problem. Like, we having depression and anxiety because we putting all these stuff in our body that shouldn't even be there in the first place. And it's pushing you to be depressed and not happy. I know when I'm feeling down, I'm feeling low, because it's a normal human emotion. I'll be like, okay, what did I do to put myself in this position? What's going on in my life right now to put me in this position? Oh, some shit just popped off and I had to handle it. I need to sit my ass down and do some self-care. Take me a shower, a nice hot shower, and then finish it off with some cold water so that my body can go through the fluctuations and be at peace and ease the tension, easing the tension in the places I need to do. And then, okay, I need to hit a detox and really just get rid of some food that I ate. Like, maybe I was in a really weird position. I was at a friend's house and I had to eat whatever they had going on. I don't eat meat personally, but sometimes I eat cheese. And when I eat cheese, I be fucked up. Excuse my language, but I be fucked up. Cheese is milk, is cow milk. It's not milk that we should be putting in our body. And that's why a lot of us are lactose intolerant, because it's really just not supposed to be shit that we putting in our body. Okay, you can enjoy and do what you want, because cheese be good. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes in my position, it'd be like, okay, I don't have no other choice. But I know that sometimes, like, it ain't even sometimes, like every time now, when I eat cheese, it's like, I can feel it. It's like a draining sensation, and then it clogs me up. And then when I'm clogged up, that allows room for emotions that are negative, that just be stuck energy. Because remember, everything is energy. Everything is present. Everything is there. Everything has an effect, a cause and effect. So you put that cheese in your body, it's like a fucking glue. And it goes through all your, I'm not very, not in tune, but I didn't go to school for, nursing and in the health aspect in that room. I don't know all of the terminology and stuff, but when you put cheese in your body, what I do know is how I feel after I eat it. And I do know I can feel myself in the inside. After I've done shrooms and LSD and all this other stuff, I really started to feel myself on a different level. I can feel the different portions of my body, and I can feel what's going on inside of myself. So I know when I eat cheese, I can feel it. And when I'm feeling negative emotions on top of that, normal human emotions, like I'm going through my day and like some shit that might happen that I didn't really was prepared for, and now I'm kind of feeling kind of low, like that cheese on top of that, instead of me eating some fruit or some shit, it'd be like, all right, emotion stuck. That cheese like stuck, and then you just like, it's just stuck, and you just like, that your day is like kind of off a little bit, and you acting weird. You having some really depressive thoughts, or you having some anxiety because you got stuck emotions that you haven't let go of, and it's kind of hard to let go of because they're stuck in the glue of your inside your body that you just put in there. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. I wrote a bunch of stuff down. I haven't looked at it this whole entire video. We're 19 minutes in, so I'm gonna start looking at that because there are some topics I really wanted to talk about. First on my list, Fuck America. Oh my God. Yes, fuck America, right? I gotta keep all love because, you know, at the end of the day, if we're everybody, I'm the same people who oppressed us, which is unfortunate because why the fuck would I do that to myself? But America has fucked up pretty much everybody's lives. Even people in other countries, they just really just did a number. They just, like, what the fuck? And it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, first of all, I don't even know where to first of all. I don't even know where to fucking start. There's just, it's literally in every aspect of our lives. Explains why there are so many people with mental health. We live in a consumerist built nation and world now. And it's not even like balanced consumerism. It's like to the point of you work in a job in a society where you must make at least $36 an hour, but you make $7 an hour and 25 cents, and that's the base in a lot of places for the income. That in itself can give people depression and anxiety. That in itself, like, if I have to pay all that shit and I can't afford to pay for my family, and now I'm sad because I can't do that. Like, that's literally the case for a lot of people. Okay. And what's the way around that? You can't change it. I mean, we have the power to change it if we all get together and make some sense of everything that we're doing and figure out that what we're doing is really not okay. We can change it, and we are in the season of Aquarius, which is change. And what's the element? The element is wind. You know, the wind is death. Death is change. Whoop. We are in it. We are in the portion of change. You can see it happening all around you. People are speaking up. People are changing things. Companies are coming out and they're like, okay, we got to do something differently because we fucking up this planet. You know what I'm saying? We live in this consumerist society where we just constantly buying. Where do you think all that stuff we buy and we get rid of, where do you think it goes? It's fucking up the planet. And then the planet is where we live. It's an energy. Everything's energy. So when the planet is living the way that, because we throwing shit out and we just doing all this shit, we fucking it up. We fucking up the energy that we are living on. And that energy is coming through us. It's like the planet Gaia is literally shifting through us. It's energy. It's like, so the planet is at a state that it's at. It's trying to flush it out. Like, that's the reason why we got a lot of anxiety and depression, because there's so much trauma on this planet. And then we also giving the planet actual trauma because it's us at the end of the day. And if we really gonna see a change, we gotta start with ourselves. It's like Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror, woman in the mirror. Goddess and guys is telling you wake up. And the way you wake up is coming back to yourself and how you feel on a day-to-day basis. How you feel transpires onto everybody. Because if you say something to somebody, you can say something completely negative, fuck somebody's life up. And then their life, it transpires to somebody else's life. And then their life transfers to somebody else's life. And then their life transfers to somebody else's life. And then it's just this continuous butterfly effect of just fucked up energy. But if you can take a day and be positive and just watch how that just flourishes around the world. Watch how that energy transpires. Watch how your positive energy ended up whacking some depression out of somebody else's life because they got to see a different picture from the world than the world was expressing to them. Because we're all connected. Still gotta keep the love. I wrote that on my list. See, still gotta keep the love, man. Like, even when we going through shit, we gotta keep love. We gotta keep love. Because everybody going through shit. Everybody is going through something. Somebody is going through something. Everybody is going through something. Life don't always give us the stuff that we want. It gives us the stuff that we need so that we can evolve. And sometimes the stuff that it gives us when we going through it already, it be hard to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So showing some love, keeping an embodiment of love and just transpiring that energy, it's just a transfer. So not only are you giving it to somebody else, you receiving it back. So just keep that shit going. Okay? Keep that shit going. And we got all this shit going on. Like, I live in Atlanta, for those of you who don't know. We got some crazy motherfuckers down here just doing some crazy ass shit. I be wanting to smack the living out of these niggas. Like, excuse my language. Like, I don't understand it. Like, why the fuck would you be out here kidnapping children away from their fucking families? What the fuck is wrong with you? Gotta keep that love. Gotta keep the love. Because I understand that the reason that we are here in the first place is because it's consumerism, market. Everything's built around making money. And some people done got really delirious and they wanted to make fucking a whole lot of money, but they're not doing it the right way. Like, you shouldn't be taking kids from their families. Like, these are families. Like, what are you doing? And then y'all stalking women and shit, bro. Like, no, like, why would you, what in your right mind told you that was okay? Okay, gotta keep the basis for love, because there's a reason behind everything, and I understand that, but still, coming back to the main topic, depression and anxiety. Depression and anxiety is there are two human emotions that we experience. Remember Erykah Badu, for those of you know, fear and love, and other emotions branch off of those emotions. Fear and love. So depression, anxiety, where do you think those come from? Fear. They definitely not in the love market. If I'm loving somebody, there shouldn't be no anxiety. I mean, anxiety is a normal human emotion at the end of the day. Just keep that in your mind. You know, but still, if fear of doing something, I'm gonna have anxiety. Fear of living my life the way I want, or fear of just, you know, like losing people, like you gonna lose family. Like, this is part of the cycle of life. But some people have taken that emotion and they've embodied it, and now they live in a place of depression, instead of realizing that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, so the energy is continuously going. So the people who pass away, they come back through you. Like, if they're a part of your family, they come back through you. Like, you have a baby, that uncle that died, that energy came back, continues. So with that being said, you never really lose anybody. You never really lose anything. I know it's still hard because it's still physical reality, and you just like, you're losing people. And I understand that. But if you're feeling low, seek out help. It's okay. Everybody experiences that emotion. Go talk to a therapist. Go talk to a friend. Go do some yoga. Go do some Go do some meditation. Self-care is important. It is important, and it is valuable. Sitting down, really having a talk with yourself and all your emotions in your head while you're doing meditation daily, that's like drinking water. I'm not sure about the percentage, but we like, 80% water? I'm not sure about the percentage again. So if we that much of water, we kind of need some liquidation in our life, even if it doesn't come from water. I know a guy who all he does is drink coconut water, which is still kind of low-key water since it's in the name, you know what I'm saying? You get the point. You know what I'm saying? Self-care is important. It's valuable. You have a really, really hard day. I've had some really fucking hard days where shit just hit the fan and it just tumbled over like a snowball effect. But I came home and took me a nice ass shower, got me some good food in my body, some food that is enriching and didn't have bogged down with a bunch of stuff that I can't pronounce, like I said in my other video, like what am I reading on this box here? Like instead I ate some kale, made me a kale salad and had me a nice little movie. And I'm like, I did some meditation, did some yoga. I watched a good movie. Watch what you watch, because everything is programming. You know, you watch a negative movie, now you program with that energy. Now you, oh shit, you're scared as fuck. Instead of being like, and a good energy of like a really good movie, a children's movie. You know, like kids' movies are good to watch, good for your soul, good for your inner child. You know what I'm saying? Self-care is important. So I already covered a lot of this stuff. Depression, anxiety are indicators that something is wrong. Your spirit is screaming out to you. Consumerism is one of the major causes. Don't we know it all? I mean, I don't know if I just said that right, but bourgeois. We are the universe and human bodies. We contain everything that the universe has. So there's another topic about that I want to talk about. So some people don't believe in like the zodiac signs and all that stuff. And I'm here to break that for you and to really get you to look at a bigger picture, because it is scientifically proven that the moon moves the waves. So if the moon moves the waves and we are 80% water, what do you think the moon does as it goes through its cycle? It affects us all. And since it affects us all, and we are all different zodiac signs, and you know, if you really read up on the moon, whatever moon energy that's present, if you really read up on it, and you see the energy that it's providing, and then the energy that's in your life, if you really look at it, it's like, damn, this full moon is actually showing me something. And you can look around at all the different parts of your life, like something as big is happening on that day, like you moving out. And then you read later that the full moon is like, hey, we really doing a big shift. There's a big shift going on right now. And a lot of people are really moving. And we moving, whether it's moving to a different job, moving out of your house. And you're like, damn, that's a reflection of the energy that's going on in my life presently right now. Because that shit is real. Because why again? Because the moon moves the water, and then we're the water. So that means that the other planets, they're also doing something too. Yeah, it's all true. You are the universe in human form. So you are being affected because you are the universe, and the universe has cycles. Just like, you know, you go outside, December time is winter time, right? So you can't ignore that. That's a whole big old cycle. And what happens during that time? The plants are dying. Shit is ending. Shit is shifting. You know what I'm saying? When we have summertime, it's like everybody wants to go outside. Things are happening. It's blooming. Like everything that happened right before, it started to bloom, you know? And people are enjoying it. It's like, it's warm outside. That's a cycle. But you'll notice that different parts of your life are also blooming. But things go through cycles. Things have to end. So then you come back to the winter time. And it's like a death cycle. Life and death. Yin and yang. It's all connected. You all connected. It's all connected. It's there, it's present. So with that being said, I'm bringing that to depression and anxiety because that's the topic that we're talking about today. And how the planets affect that. Is sometimes we have to go through some negative emotions for us to actually get rid of those emotions. And by understanding the astrological purpose of whatever time is going on right now, whatever energy is present, by understanding that, we can understand, okay, I'm having loads of depression because of this negative emotion that I've been harboring in my life. And I really need to let it go for me to be able to let go of this depression. Again, a normal human emotion. You can get it, you can have it. It's a normal human emotion, like being sad. It's like, this is kind of one and the same, you know, depression and sadness. Fear, not love, it's all fear emotion. All right. Come back to the beginning of you. Come back to the beginning of you. Come back to the beginning of you. What does that mean? Source energy. You're the universe. You are God and Goddess. You are present. You are a machine. You are the technology. Come back to the beginning of you. Come back to, and bring that in the present terms and in physical terms, come back to who you are. When you are not being who you are authentically being and supposed to be being, you off, your body, your spirit is telling you. It's like, We can't be living like this. This is not making me happy. I was not built to be like this. Like, I'm an Aquarius. I like to spew out information. If I'm not spewing out information, I'm like, what's my purpose, bruh? I'm just sitting here. It's like, it's no fun for me. It's who I've been designed to be, alongside the 12 other houses that have my signs in them. You know, like, shit, what's my Venus in? Mercury? Oh my God, I said most my Venus in Mercury. What the hell? Did y'all hear that shit? Let it go. Ignore it. I'm gonna say something else. Okay, my rising is Sagittarius. Okay, so I'm built to be a little fiery, presenting out, you know, explaining the red hair and, you know, fucking moon with the 7 spikes, which represents the 7 days of the week, the 7 chakras, 7 energy centers, you know, and it's also a flame on my forehead. I'm a fiery individual. And then my sun, my sun is Aquarius. So, you know, season of Aquarius is our season, you know what I'm saying, gang. And we here to teach, we here to move shit forward. We're here to go through this little death cycle. I'm in my energy, I'm embodying it. It's who I am. If I'm not being who I am authentically, then I'm not living my life in the way that I should be. And when I'm not living my life in the way that I should be, I'm not happy. And when I'm not happy and I continuously go throughout my day not living the life that I should be living, I ain't happy, and I'm living through somebody else's life, through some other shit that somebody else told me to be. Parents told you that you had to go be this in college, and now you living something, you living inauthentically, and you living your life being depressed, having anxiety, like something's wrong. Your spirit is telling you that something is wrong. And another thing that I wrote down on this paper is, it's actually the next thing, balance. Balancing. Life is a balancing act. We are the yin and the yang. We have the light and the dark in us. Now, for the Christian religion, a lot of you say it's like, okay, the devil made you do it, the devil made you do this. Like, no, you made yourself do that because you got that dark energy in you. You can't ignore the dark energy. It's a part of you. But you got to keep it balanced so that you just not out here doing fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you are gonna have those moments where your darkness comes out of you. But if you never sat there and really had a chance to really get to know your darkness, then you might just say, do, and be some fuck shit. That's the reason why we have a lot of problems in today's time, because we try to shift and put the blame on some guy, some deity, the devil, instead of looking at ourselves and being like, yo, I am the fucking problem. Like, my darkness came out and I'm the reason I did what I do. Those demons that I want to blame are my demons. They are me. You know what I'm saying? And you have to balance that shit. That's energy. You are a magnet. So how do you balance that? Sit your ass down, do some meditation, bro. Get in your mind. Sit there. Don't try to quiet your mind. Hear your thoughts. Let go of everything, even the good ones, and just hear yourself. Hear yourself and understand what is going through your mind. And really just be there for yourself. Be there for yourself. And in doing so, just you taking that time every day, you are creating a balance in yourself, and you are balancing yourself so that you can be back in turns with your energy. Because again, remember, you're the universe in human form. Code, you're a written code. That's why you are built the way that you are built. That's why you have the skin that you have, the skin. That's why you have the ethnicity that you have. You are a written code. You are there. Okay. So there's just one last thing that I want to talk about. Me and my mom always had this conversation. She's coming around to it a little bit more and understanding what I'll be talking about. But I don't know how to pronounce this term. I think it's like allopathic or I wrote it down. What is it? Allopathic medicine, which is like, you know, stuff that pill bottles and stuff that they give you being at the doctor. They say, here, we're gonna prescribe you this and this and that. I'm a more herb and remedy guy because living off the earth, because a lot of the individuals in there, unfortunate as it is, they are teaching you a craft so that they can make money. So if you think about it this way, they're not gonna give everybody the full healing serum because they're trying to make money. You can't make money if everybody's just being healed. And that's kind of the problem with society, because it's such a consumerist built society, and if the money ain't flowing, shit ain't going. But we shouldn't be living like that. It shouldn't be like, here, put a Band-Aid on it, instead of, here, let me take a better look at that. Oh, we gotta clean this off. We gotta heal this. We gotta take some alcohol and burn some of the stuff that shouldn't be there. And in doing so, you're pitting your body through the cycle of life and death and getting rid of stuff that doesn't belong in your body. Like this whole thing with the whole corona thing. Like, you really think that vaccine is gonna really do what you need it to do? Like, think about it. Think about this Tuskegee shit. And every other time that they've given us vaccines, and then come to find out 6 years later, they're issuing like money to people and settlements because the information that they gave to people was wrong. You don't think they knew that when they dropped it? They trying to make money. They ain't trying to heal people. They ain't trying to get people out of their funk. They ain't trying to get the world to be moving in the most highest state it can be moving. They ain't trying to do that. Because they ain't gonna be making money off of it. They didn't build this world around money in every aspect. Like, they would really think they finna try to help you. Now, there are some things that my mom say that's like I completely agree with. If you are really experiencing some heavy amounts of depression or whatever you're going through, yes, go grab you a pill. I hate to say it, but go grab it temporarily so that you can get yourself to a mindset where you can move and really think clearly for yourself, so that you can actually sit down and have a meditation moment and be in a place where you can actually get the real existence that you need, which is given from the earth herself. Mother Gaia got all the answers. But if you're not there to really just be there mentally, you just going through it, like, you just can't operate. Now, as I see the world is moving, we're moving back to a place of higher understanding. So my eyes be like, take your ass to a shaman. That's the real doctor. That's the real doctor. That's the doctor that understands that we are the universe in a human body. And you can sit there and think yourself out of disease, because most of the disease starts here. And then if you got food, then it starts here in the womb, which travels through the body. A lot of disease is just mucus. Just like Dr. Sebi, like we all know, has said. You know, you take that mucus, you get rid of that mucus, you be healed. Like, I really cannot tell you the last time that I've been sick. And I actually can tell you the last time that I've been sick. I can tell you all about it. And I can tell you what I did to go fix it and how long it took. 2 days. 2 days. I was sick. I realized, I sat down and really just sat down with myself, looked at my life. I was experiencing so much drawdown from my life, from the choices and the energy that I was bringing. And it was really smacking me in every little aspect of my life. And then it continuously smacked me and put me in this place of really being depressed. And then my negative depressed emotions sent me into a darker place of myself, allowing me to be accessible to darker energies that then became a breeding ground for disease. A breeding ground for disease. Your emotions can put you in a breeding ground for disease. Don't believe me? Go look at all the studies. You don't have to believe me, shit. Not being a messenger for spirit or nothing, but shit. You know what I'm saying? I know it's heavy, and I know it'd be hard to believe because the world done told you so much already, and it's like, what am I supposed to believe this 23-year-old guy with a face tattoo on his forehead? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand. I get it. I do. Go try it for yourself if you don't believe me. And then come back and be like, okay, you onto something. Because I'm just you. Come on. You here. You present. You listening. Try it out. Go on deep into yourself and take a moment for yourself. Disappear for a week. And really just take every little thing that I'm telling you and put it into yourself and start to implement daily meditation. Do some daily yoga. Take the foods that you've been eating out of your life and start doing something that's healthier, something that you can understand. That like the word, like the look at the back of the box of the food and really see and look those things up. And look at all the people who are like, oh yeah, this little thing here did this to me, this little thing here did this to me, this little thing did this to me. And on top of the lives that we live in, like we gotta go through the consumerist life where we have no choice. Like we gotta make money for our families, like we gotta make money for our rent, you know. We can't just be like, oh, we can't do it no more. Like I'm gonna go live a life with no financial shit. Like unfortunately we have to live that way. Like that's just how it is. But take a moment and change your life a little bit and see how it really changes you. See how you become a happier individual. Look into the Wonder Womb, the book. Really read it. And really see how, look at your parents and look at the way that they are. And look at yourself and say, oh damn, I'm just like you, because the energy that they have is the energy that created you. And take a look at that. And don't look at it from a place like I'm stuck like that. Like you're not stuck. You can get out of it. Look at it and be like, okay, this is who I am now, but I can become so much more. So much more. So much more. You don't have to believe me. Try it yourself. Again. I haven't done tarot for like the last couple of videos, and I feel like it's important because I really touch base on a lot of things today, and I really want to keep this energy going. So that being said, Holy Spirit, angels, ancestors, I ask you to come in this place and open up a portal of positive energy. Allow a message to be presented for the viewer that will help and shift them and bring them to a grander understanding of self and their life at the moment in the world. Yeah, I think that was a good little message, a good little prayer. Oh my God. Got this beautiful crystal here, just sitting here. Forgot what it was called, I'm still learning. Alright, so we got the Eight of Swords in reverse. We got the Queen of Swords in reverse. And we've got the Three of Wands in reverse. Reverse doesn't always mean negative. Sometimes it's just, that's life and death. It's how you view it, how you really take it in. So Eight of Swords. I'm gonna read my little book here. Wow, look at that. It brought me like 3 pages away from it. This is amazing. I love tarot. Tarot's just, spirit is funny. This is hilarious. Okay, so the 3 words here are awakening, liberation, open to change. Learning from past mistakes is the best strategy to living your best life. You're ready to grow from your experiences and apply your graduate's degree from the School of Hard Knocks to the test. Through this, you are open to change and have accepted yourself for who you are, flaws and all. This liberates you from any self-judgment and doubt that you have inflicted upon yourself in the past. Taking responsibility is big, as you realize you have complete power over yourself, your past, and your future. You are recognizing that life is full of choices, and how you choose to respond to life's challenges is one of them. Empower yourself by creating opportunities instead of passively waiting on them to happen. True freedom comes simply from being yourself. That should be enough for you to believe that you're the universe in human form. Everything that I just spoke about, it cannot be denied. It is there. You are here. You heard the prayer. It wasn't no evil. No, I wasn't doing all that. Like they have you to believe. I wonder why they have you to believe that. Because they don't want you being healthy. They don't want you being balanced. They don't want you understanding. But it's over. It's over for all that. We need to come back to ourselves. If we really want to make some change happen, we got to come back to what is real. And you are real. You real, right? You real and you're not real. You're the universe in play. You know what I'm saying? But you understanding that you're the universe in play, you come back to yourself, okay? Queen of Swords in reverse. Brah. Okay. Ice Queen. Judgmental. Detached. Objective. Oh my God. Objective needing. Give me a second. Give me a moment. I'm having a human time. Objective thinking is needed here. Emotions cloud your thoughts, your thought process, and paint your mind with colors that don't necessarily add to the painting. There is a fine balance between your feelings and facts. Time to regroup and look at the whole picture. Partake in your logic to look at the situation from all angles with straightforward transparency and honesty. On the other end of the spectrum, being too cold and forgetting compassion are equally as damaging. Lashing out with judgmental, closed-minded thinking can scare those who are trying to help you. People may find that you abrasive, God damn it, excuse my language. People may find you abrasive and think that it is difficult to be around you. Being highly critical in tough situations is important. However, back it up with logic and facts to know if you've made the right decision. So I want to go a little bit in depth with each little segment here of this to bring it back to the topic that we're talking about today, which is depression and anxiety. Objective thinking is needed here. Emotions cloud your thought process and paint your mind with colors that don't necessarily add to the painting. Okay, so with that being said, emotions can cloud your judgment. Emotions can put you in a place of depression and anxiety. Remember what I said earlier about coming back to a blank slate? Just kind of looking at the life that you're being presented, and you can either take on the full energy of like your parents and be like, okay, I understand that my parents made me, and this is why I show up the way that I show up. And you could be like, okay, so I gotta keep showing up that way in life, or I could paint a different picture and take the emotions that I'm experiencing, dump them out, and grab some other stuff. And start painting with a different color, restart. Or just take a little big ass little black, what do you call them? The little rollers for paint. Or take a white one, whichever color you like or whatever, whatever color, go shoop. And look, and you can start painting something else. Be objective. There is a fine balance between your feelings and facts, light and dark. Time to regroup and look at the whole picture. Partake in your logic to look at the situation from all angles with straightforward transparency and honesty. That's what you have to do when you are tapping into yourself and going inside of yourself. Look at yourself with transparency. Be real. Be real with yourself. No one else can be as real. They can be real and point at your life as they want, but they don't know who you are for who you are. You can only tell you who you are, but be transparent with yourself and don't lie to yourself and be like, okay, this is how I show up in real life. I can't ignore this. And if you ignore it, then you're just letting your ego come into play and take you from reality. And be completely transparent with yourself. Don't beat yourself up about it, because that's a whole nother mental disorder where you're constantly beating yourself up and then you end up with depression. You know what I'm saying? So be objective, but don't be cold. On the other end of the spectrum, being too cold and forgetting compassion are equally as damaging. Lashing out with judgmental, closed-minded thinking can scare those who are trying to help you. Open up your mind. Don't be so cold. Be compassionate with yourself. Be loving with yourself, because that same energy is going to transpire and it's going to move out. And when you're loving to yourself, you're loving to other people, and you're compassionate to other people. And when you show that compassion to other people, they show that compassion and that love to you. Bouncing energy, try it. Be nice to someone. See how they be nice right back to you. And if they aren't being nice back to you, understand that they going through whatever they going through and it has nothing to do with you. But just try it out. Be mean to somebody and be nice to somebody. I'd say try being nice to somebody. See how that play out for you. Catch more bees with honey. People may find you abrasive and think that it is difficult to be around you. Being highly critical in tough situations is important. However, back it up with logic and facts to know if you've made the right decision. That comes back to like being 100% real with yourself. I wouldn't say be highly critical. Just be somewhat critical so that you still keep a space for compassion and love for yourself, and understand that you are moving and grooving just like everybody else is moving and grooving. Everybody trying to keep it together. Or not trying to keep it together, keeping it together, you know? It's part of keeping it together, being compassionate to yourself, being loving to yourself. So, I mean, with this card, again, the three keywords here are Ice Queen, Judgmental, and Detached. Sometimes it's good to be detached, so you can look at yourself from a different place. Sometimes it isn't good to be detached, because then you're not attached to yourself, and you just, I'm gonna agree with the fact that it is not good to be detached too much, but being detached is, okay, you get the point. It's both sides. It's a good thing and not a bad thing to being detached. Being detached in your mind as you're meditating is like, okay, I hear these emotions, I hear these thoughts that I'm having, but I don't have to attach myself to them. Like, I'm gonna have light and dark thoughts. I don't have to attach myself to those realities. I can attach myself to the reality that I want to choose to be in my mind, you know, and that's not coherent with the current reality, which is like, if you're living in a house, you're living in a house, like, obviously, but like, you're living in a house and you're happy, or you're living in a house and you're sad. Which reality did you want to choose? You have a choice. Sometimes it may not seem like you have a choice, but you always have a choice. You know, like, you can't change a lot of your circumstances, so you have to look at them in a different place. Three of Wands here in reverse. Three of Wands in reverse. Barriers, poor planning, obstacle. Obstacle after obstacle has left you feeling frustrated and apprehensive. You can see the big picture. However, there are blocks along the way. Plans with not only a timeline, but a deadline have been thrashed, which ends up feeling like time wasted. In a constant state of overwhelm, you are thrown off your game and unable to adjust to the challenges that have come your way. This could also have happened due to poor planning and a shaky foundation. Take your losses for what they are and align yourself back to your grand vision. ask yourself what tiny steps you can take today so that you are much closer to achieving what you have dreamed for yourself. This is all a part of the journey, and you have all the resources necessary to overcome your struggles. The biggest resource is yourself. Who would have thought, right? The biggest resource is everything that you create in your mind. So the only obstacle really that is really apparent is how you think about things. So coming back to yourself, being balanced, just take a moment for yourself. Let go of all the things that are being here presented in your life. And having that moment allows your pulse and your heart to start beating at a slower pace, which is relaxing and peaceful and provides a less tense space for you to be in. A less tense space for you to be in allows for what? The letting go of depression, the letting go of anxiety. When you're feeling anxiety, is your heart beating slow? Because mine don't be beating slow. It'd be like thump 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 thump. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a feel good. It's not a really pacing yourself ways. In moments that you're feeling anxiety, you need to breathe. You need to take a moment for breath. You can breathe in any circumstance you're in, unless you're in a lake and you're underneath the water and don't breathe. Come out the water first. You know what I'm saying? But that's not an analogy. That's literally a physical situation, and that's not has nothing to do. Just forget about it. But yes, taking a moment to breathe. You can breathe in any normal situation to really get yourself out of an anxiety place, and it really helps. It's helped me. Helps a lot of people. There's people who are really doing a lot of meditation in yoga, especially during the 2020 lockdown. Like, we didn't have anything else to do. Everybody was having a dark night of the soul, really getting to see themselves in a different picture and being like, oh damn, now that the pace is slowed, I'm really getting to see myself. Really, really getting to be with myself more often than usual. Versus being out continuously working. All right, so I ran out of space, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Again, the greatest advice that I can give you is going to yourself and trying these things out that I have conversations about. That's pretty much it. Depression and anxiety are things that you can let go of. They are not there for you to be for the rest of your life. You have a choice to really tap into yourself, heal yourself, and let go of these things, and also understand that there are normal human emotions and they can come back if you let them in. And it's normal to feel these things, and you shouldn't beat yourself up. I did it again, so I'm running through this really quickly. Thank you for watching The Dark Side of the Moon. Again, this episode was called Depression and Anxiety. I appreciate you watching my videos if you've watched them all. And if you haven't watched them all, go check that out. Click and subscribe for future videos. Turn my little bell on so you can get a notification, and make sure you like this video if you've watched the whole thing and you've made it to this. And if you skip to this, like it anyway. You know what I'm saying? It helps me get to other people who need to see this video and get this information, and you're helping the world move to a greater place just by doing it.